Hi, listeners, and welcome to the first edition of My Holland Update. This is your host, Marianne Manderfield, Public Information Coordinator for the City of Holland. Today, I'd like to introduce our co-host, Keith Van Beek, Holland's new city manager.
All right. So I'm the first guest / co-host.
You are. So thank you for being here.
Yeah.
Good
it's
to
kind
have
of
you.
exciting. I like that it's a podcast and not a video,
Right. So you don't have to
Yeah.
look in the mirror
People
first.
probably would rather listen to me than look at me. So
So tell our listeners a little bit about yourself. You're a Holland native.
I am. I was born in that faraway land called Zeeland, though.
Okay.
So for longtime Holland people, hopefully they're laughing a little bit at that now.
Right.
So yeah, so I was born in Zeeland, and I moved into Holland Heights in 8th grade.
Okay.
And stayed here through college, and then went to the real faraway land of Grand Rapids for 20-some years.
Okay.
And then 5 years ago, moved back, have been living in the city. I worked for Ottawa County, and then I'm here with my new job and role. Honored to be here for about 3 months.
Okay.
So it was nice. I didn't have to move when I took the new job.
Right. So what has kept you in Holland? What keeps you living in the city of Holland? What's your favorite thing to do?
Oh, there's a lot. My wife loves the farmer's market, so that's a big draw. So typically that involves, on Saturdays I'll tag along with her. On Wednesdays, if she doesn't have something else going on, I'm working, so I can't go along with her on Wednesdays. Just downtown is fantastic. So just whether it be strolling through for the Street Performer series or going down for dinner with friends and others has always been great fun. But it's just a fantastic community. So even more than 5 years back, my wife and I, when I was working at Ottawa County, we had decided that we wanted to move back closer to where I was working then at Ottawa County. And it didn't take much conversation where the city was where we wanted to live. It's just a great community.
It really is. It's you can't beat Holland. What? So you were in Ottawa County prior to this.
Yes.
Why public service? What was your draw to have a career in public service?
Yeah, that's a great question. So when I was in college, I had a criminal justice degree. So I was thinking about, okay, what do I want to do? And I never wanted to go, sorry, police officers, I never wanted to be a police officer. But I was thinking maybe probation work, or even a little bit every once in a while after watching a good crime show, I thought FBI or something like that.
Okay.
But I come from a family that has a long history of doing different things in public service, teaching, nursing, lot of teachers, in fact. So I think there was always just a pull of having that interest in criminal justice, and then I matched that with a political science degree. And then somewhere along the line, kind of the idea of city management and working in government came along, and I got the bug, and it's never left me. Well,
and having I think a lot of people forget sometimes too that right in their backyard is where they can make the difference. Having our citizens engaged, and I think people tend to look to Washington a lot, but it's right here in the backyard that really, where public service and citizens, they can make the difference. It's their community, and to be engaged.
Yeah, absolutely. I think of that in my larger professional field of professional local government management. We have regional and state and international associations even. And we've talked about attracting talent to this field. And most people that end up in this field, really they look at what's happening at the national or the state level.
Right.
And kind of go, okay, like politics, maybe I'm somewhat interested, but don't think I want to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And the really cool thing is yes, on the local level, what's the old saying? There's not Republican or Democratic potholes. There's just potholes.
Right.
So that level of politics, it's nice that locally you're just providing services to your neighbors. You're entrusted with tax dollars, and you're expected to make those dollars go as far as possible to provide services to make really good communities. And I think that resonates with people. I know it resonates with me. So, yeah, Marianne, as we're looking at recruiting more people to work in public service or work at the City of Holland or wherever, I think that's a good message.
Is there anything that has surprised you about Holland, or that you've learned about Holland since being the city manager?
I've had that question a lot. The surprise, I would say no. Being from the community and kind of working in this field, I had a pretty good idea of what I was getting into and what the issues were and what the concerns were and what the great things about the community were. So there weren't any surprises. But you asked me a question, so I got to answer it rather than just saying no. The pleasant confirmation that I've had is that we do have a community that just has high expectations of itself. So we always want to be better than what we are. And I think that's a great thing. And also, just as I've made the rounds, this week happens to be where I'm grilling for a lot of different employee appreciation lunches.
Right.
And we have fantastic employees. So it's been just a lot of fun to confirm what I thought was true, which is that we have employees that are really dedicated to public service. They go above and beyond. They enjoy what they do. And there's just a lot of energy. Yesterday, in fact, I was at Transportation, but also Parks and Rec. And we have pretty good large number of students that come in and help make our community look fantastic, our parks and our flower beds and everything. And just talking to some of the men and women that work year-round, they just really enjoy the summer because there's all this new, young, energetic talent that comes in, and they just really enjoy kind of that different type of interaction over the summer months. So, that's not a surprise, but it's really a confirmation of what I hope for and believe to be true, and it's absolutely true. We got great people.
Thank you. We do, because we have quite a bit of tenure with our employees within the city. We have quite a few long-time employees here.
And demographically, I know that's kind of a conversation for a lot of our listeners out there. They think of what they do. We're at that point, not just at the city, but other places where there's some turnover. There's that baby boomer generation that's deciding that retirement is a good thing. I'm not so sure I want them all to retire right now, right? But, so it's good to see that new energy, too, that we need people to come in and pick up where those long-term employees have left off also.
Right. I have one last question for you. Is there any one thing that keeps you up at night?
Oh, keeps me up at night. Not really.
Okay.
Now, partly that's just because I'm that guy that 10 seconds after my head hits the pillow, I'm pretty much out. So it's probably more what wakes me up early in the morning and then I can't go back to sleep.
Oh, okay.
So, we do have challenges as a community that we need to continue to work on and address. The reality is the tax structure of the state is set up in such a way where even though the economy is going well, cities and counties and townships don't necessarily participate with that economic boom in the same way. So we continue to have some structural economic issues where we need to be really smart with how we invest our money that taxpayers give to us. we're doing a lot of work right now, kind of a topic of the year or multiple years is affordable housing. We hear very much from our manufacturing, but our employers, but really all of our employers, that they're hearing that it's difficult for people that are, looking at first homes or that are new employees in the area that might be driving in from a long way, that they can't find housing in our larger community. And long term, that's troubling because then they might live in Grand Rapids and drive back and forth, which is fine, except for after doing that for a period of time, they might find a job in Grand Rapids, and then we kind of go through the hiring process again.
Right.
So we're talking through that. That's a big public policy debate and question, and there's no easy, simple, quick answer to that.
And that's not just Holland. That's county, state, national
Absolutely.
issue.
So I think that's really good. That's a collaborative effort that we're having where, we're not facing that as a City of Holland issue. We're making sure that we're part of the solution there with others.
Right. Well, in turning to the city manager's office, what are one or two things that have really kept you busy here these first few months?
So affordable housing, but I'll name two things. One is just getting out and meeting more people. So there probably, particularly in the first 2 months, there probably wasn't a day that went by that I didn't have at least 2 meetings with someone in the community, a faith leader, my employees, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, chamber leaders. So I thought it was really important and was energized to get out and meet all the people that make up our community in a different way. So that kept me busy. Additionally, we have this wonderful project called the Holland Civic Center Place.
Right.
So that was the biggest project that we're still working on, but we've definitely gotten over some hurdles there and are happy to continually announce that the end of September 28 and 29, we're going to be having a lot of grand opening celebrations there at the Civic Center. And it's just really cool to hear the conversation in the community where the conversation now is, oh, it looks great and I can't wait to get in it. So kind of that long debate and discussion and start again, stop again of what are we going to do with the Civic is in the rearview mirror now. And I think now it's just looking forward. So that's really fun to be part of.
And more information on the grand opening and the community events will be coming.
Yeah, we're holding
down
some
the
of that
pike.
information a
Right.
little bit close yet. We
Sure.
want to, have some excitement,
Sure.
but very much what's key is there's going to be something for everybody, not only in that first grand opening weekend, but also that's a commitment to the community that there's something for everyone that everyone can recognize and participate in the Civic Center as being, I've heard the term, the community's living room.
Right. Yes.
Right? So we want it to be a place that's available and that everyone can get in there and experience a lot of the great events that we're going to be having in there.
And that's just, 7 weeks away. So we're getting very, very close. That's
Crazy how fast the summer's gone.
I know. Well, Keith, in wrapping up, what's like the next big thing on the docket for this city?
Yeah, it's a variety of things rather than talking about like a specific initiative or not. And we certainly have plenty of them. We're talking about the James DeYoung plant
Sure.
and envisioning not only that site, but kind of what does it mean to have a downtown waterfront. With my focus in partnership with mayor and council is really to make sure that we continue to strategically look out into the future. I want to make sure that we're providing a government and an administration that isn't just reacting to things, but is trying to be as proactive as possible. So me catching up with understanding and learning everything in more depth about the city, but then also trying to adopt that mindset of working ahead. I think the best leaders are those that are making 5 and 10 year decisions instead of making 5 or 10 week decisions.
Right.
So that's really a focus that I have.
Okay. Well, Keith, thanks for taking time today out of your busy schedule. And
thank you.
Sure. And until next month, this has been my Holland Update.